Hello, you are watching Hayat Insights. Friends, we have made a series in communication skills, and this is the first one in which we'll talk about communication. It is said that as far as communication is concerned, speak in such a way that others love to listen to you. Listen in such a way that others love to speak to you. So, communication skills is developing communication skills where you have advantages in many areas. The first one is in your professional career, your social life, and your family life. And in fact, communication is said to be verbal, non-verbal, and in as far as organizations are concerned, in many levels you have communication. Now, poor communication skills can have a negative impact as well. In fact, it is said that poorly delivered message may result in either misunderstanding, frustration, and in some cases, it may result in disaster as well. So, you can see that how important the communication skills are. Now, let us go to the other level, that how does communication skills benefit in your life. In fact, it is said it is valued in the workplace. In business, it is in demand by businesses, helps your career development, and it allows you to speak in brief. So, when communication is briefly said, or when you have the message very short, sweet, and very clear, it helps a lot. It enhances professional image. And then, good communicators have higher self-esteem. Now, a word about esteem, self-esteem, you know that in fact, in various surveys, it is said that the self-esteem is found to be very low among the individuals. So, we can see that good communicators do have definitely a high self-esteem. And apart from that, the entrepreneurs, successful entrepreneurs are good communicators. So, if you want to succeed in business or as an entrepreneur, as a professional, then definitely communication does matter. Effective communication skills, as you know, it is a must for a leader. Without communication skills, nobody can lead a team, nobody can lead a group. Then it gives you the tools to participate in society. Now, in fact, you can observe among your groups, in your society, in your community, in whichever group you are, a person who can really communicate well, he can really, you can say, have an edge over others. Now, the other benefits of effective communication, it also helps in strong decision making and also problem solving. Now, one you can say that the person who can really is said to be a troubleshooter. A person needs to have good communication. Unless until you can pass on the message to the other person or convey him or her the message what you want to convey, you cannot really know the other person's views as well. So, the problem solving also needs good communication. Convincing and compelling corporate materials, it is a must as far as the corporate success is concerned. Sound business relationships, and also the successful response is ensured. So, the process of understanding and sharing the meaning is itself is said to be communication. Now, how communication is effective? Now, in fact, communicate effectively with your clients, with your colleagues, the boss. Of course, the relationship with the boss is very essential, or with your subordinates. Unless until you have a very good relationship with your boss or with your subordinates, you cannot make the work done. So, in a nutshell, you can say that in any sector you work, good communication is inevitable, or you can say it improves the teams, it inspires high performance, it enhances work culture. So in every walk of life, you can say that communication is a must. Communicate effectively. In fact, if you can interact in a more constructive and productive manner, then your workplace will be a better place, or it is a positive and it is more thriving environment. So one individual who can really understand the team, who can lead the team, or who can really convey the message is the one who can really communicate in a better way. Now, what is it that the employers look for? In fact, nowadays there is a more, you can say that requirement, or there is a demand by the employers that who's the best person, or what are the skills those are required by a candidate, or what is it that the employer looks in a applicant. Now, in those skills which are required, it is said that the 5 skills are important. Now, among the top 5, the communication is said to be the best one, or it is the most preferred skill that is required by the employer. Next one is about the organization, or you can say how does the employee makes the work in a better way, or how he can really organize himself. So another one is the teamwork, and then critical thinking. Now you may say that critical thinking, how does it really affect your business environment? Because unless until you have the analytical skills or critical thinking, you cannot really diagnose the problem also. So this is where it is a must. It is a must that these skills are important as far as the employer or the management is concerned. Now, these 5 skills, to remind you, the communication is the most important one as far as the employer's top 5 skills or qualities are preferred. Now, why communication is a must, and how does it really affect the employment process? So friends, communication is inevitable. In fact, graduate unemployment is said to be the most important, you can say, issue as far as today's world is concerned. Now, in this particular issue, the graduate unemployment, what are the reasons for unemployment? So there are different skills which are required by the employer. Just now what we have discussed about the 5 skills. Apart from that, the soft skills, needs for soft skills, and then in the next coming videos we'll also talk about communication, its barriers, and it all about the development of communication also. Now, ability to speak well is in fact the most single most asset in business and society. So that's where a person who has got the good communication skills will have a definite edge over others. The role of parents. Now, how does the parents really matter, or what is the role of a parent? Now, in fact, as you say that the personality of the individual or a child begins, or it starts developing right from the cradle. So the role of parents become very important as far as the optimistic or the pessimistic attitude is concerned. Now, in fact, the people who are really educated, or who are aware of the happenings around the world, or if they can really guide the children, then that nothing like it. A child can really develop the personality. But otherwise, if there is always a family where the parents are quarreling among each other, or maybe they do not have that much of education level. So in that case, the children are the people or the kids who are the most sufferers. They don't have enough of things to look upon, or where do they get the inspiration from? So that's where the role of parents become important. So we also need to counsel the parents as well. After that, I would say that the role of the schools. In fact, again, unfortunate, but I must say that many of the schools in the present day, or the system where most of the the teachers, again, it's a sorry state of affairs, but in the 3-tier schools, you can say that where the teachers are either SSC or intermediate pass, or barring a few schools, some schools do really appoint the trained teachers, or they have the B.Ed degree or maybe other trained certification is there. But apart from that, mostly the teachers are really not up to the mark. So what is it that the children expect from them? I mean, how do they learn, or what is it that they can expect from them? So it's a big vacuum over there. Now, apart from that, several soft skills institutes have cropped up in the system, or you can say in the society, where most of the time the requirement is that they give the certification for those candidates who cannot speak well or do not have that enough of communication skills, and they conduct the curriculum for maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks, or maybe 6 weeks, or maximum of 3 or 4 months. But again, does it really help them in the long run? I must say that no, because as you can say that the patient has got a very serious problem, illness, you cannot really treat a person within couple of weeks or months. I mean, it has to be a treatment also will be long, and by the time he gets really healthy, it will take long time. So in a way, a person who does not have the basics of maybe any language or the interactive skills, you cannot treat, or you cannot really improve the proficiency in a couple of weeks or a couple of months. It takes a long time. Now, another major problem with the professional students, or you can say the graduates, is the selection of university majors. Now, I think here again it's a big problem, big issue, that how do they select their electives. So I think there again, most of the time the students follow a sort of herd mentality, or unfortunately again that they go by the peers, whatever their group leader or whatever their peers opt for, they go by those majors. So again, as we have talked earlier, if a person doesn't have enough of communication skills, or you can say in a way, it doesn't give you enough of knowledge in case of decision making. So if a person is really a good communicator, it helps in decision making as well. So lack of assets in terms of knowledge, this is another deficiency, you can say. Then of course, life skills, attitudes, then the lack of presentation skills. Attitudes, I would say that attitude, most of the time people think that attitude is all about when you show the attitude negative, or maybe in a more positive manner. But does it really help, or how you are going to build the attitude? So attitude, I think it really matters with, or at times of situation, in terms of circumstances, that how is it you are going to be showing your attitude as a subordinate, as a colleague, as a boss, as a friend, as a parent, as a children, or as a kid. So how does it really matters? So how is it you are going to develop the right attitude at the right time? So all this is really needed to develop, need to be developed. Then the presentation skills. Now in case of presentation skills, again, most of the students do have the conceptual knowledge. I must say that with my experience over a period of time, and with a lot of interacting with so many students, one thing is very clear, that many of the students do have the knowledge, they have the conceptual knowledge as well. But in terms of presentation, it's long way to go. You cannot really say that the presentation skills are, you can say, desired, what they have, they are not up to the mark. So that is where you need to develop the presentation skills also, so that you can be accepted by the corporate or by the employers as well. Now let us go to the next one, that is Stanford Research Institute and Carnegie Mellon Foundation has conducted a study, and believe me, it's a very important study, and it has got revealed certain facts, or it has given certain revealing facts, that is 75% of job success depends on people skills, only 25% on technical knowledge. So I think that's a really good news for most of the graduates. That is, you don't need to be perfect. In fact, earlier or many of the employers also do have this feeling that the employers do not want the working encyclopedias. So it means that if a student is scoring 80%, 90% or 95 up to 98% of marks, that is good enough, but that is not actually required by the employers. So 25% technical knowledge is enough, and only 75% of job success depends on people skills. So that's what we have been discussing just now, that the people skills, life skills or soft skills and other skills are very important. And another revealing fact that has been given by this study is 87% of the employees lose their jobs or maybe fail to be promoted just because they do not have the proper work habits, or as I said, the attitudes, rather than insufficient job skills or knowledge. So again, technical skills are only 25% and other skills are more important. So your behavior, your habits, your attitude, so all these are, you can say, in a way it becomes really a must. And the soft skills really enables, or you can say it helps the graduates to understand and also to adapt successfully to the culture in an organization or the norms of the workplace, because every organization, every group, every workplace is very different. So in short, you can say that the skills which separate stars from average performance at work is really the soft skills or communication skills. So friends, with this we'll come to the end of the first video. In the next video, we'll talk more about communication skills in terms of what exactly the communication skills are about. Then subsequently, we'll talk more about the other skills in the next videos. Thank you very much.